goal of this video is to start FFL Tools for the first time and then configure FFL Tools by using the options form. When you first install FFL Tools, you are granted a 30-day trial license with all functionality of FFL Tools enabled. On the evaluation page, click Continue Evaluation. By default, security is enabled, so you will have to log in. The default password for the admin account is L3TM3IN!! Type that in and click OK. A dialog will be displayed asking you to set up security questions. By answering security questions, you can recover a forgotten password in the future. We're going to skip this process for now by clicking No. Click the Options button to open the options form. We will explain each section of the options form in detail. Security settings will enable or disable security login to FFL Tools. When the security enabled switch is off, you will not be prompted for a username and password at startup, and the admin account will be used. The admin account cannot be deleted from the system. Click the word On to switch security to off. Click Off to switch it back on. The welcome page functions in the same way. Turning it on will show the welcome page whenever you click the icon in the upper left of the application. Turning it off will not show the welcome page. This control works in the same manner as the security switch. Let's now look at the Users section. Use the username combo box to select a user account to modify. If you do not plan on using security, then select the admin account. Change the password if you wish. Enter your full name. This is the value that is entered on the 4473-3310-4 multiple handgun report and the 3310-11 lost and stolen report. It may also be used for background check in some state systems. Enter your title. This will also be used on the 4473 and other ATF forms. Click the Update User button to save your changes. Now let's add a new user. Use the username combo box and select the empty field. Now type in the new username. The username cannot contain any spaces. Type in the password, enter the user's full name, and the user's title. Click the Add User button. Now you can decide what modules the user will have access to. In our example, the new user is a sales associate that does not acquire firearms, and you do not want them to edit any records. To move an item from the disallowed task to the allowed task, simply double-click it. Any user that has the Options module in the Allowed Task box can make any changes to the FFL Tools settings. Double-click 4473 Seller, Background Check, and Dispositions. It is not necessary to press the Update User button, as all tasks are recorded as you add them. To remove a task, simply double-click one in the Allowed Tasks box. Make sure Security Enabled is on, and then close the Options form with the small X on its tab. Click the Log Out button to log the current user out of the system and display the FFL Tools Login dialog. Log in as the user that was just created. Click No to the Setup Security Questions dialog box. As you can see, modules that were not granted are now disabled. Click the Log Out button again and log back in as administrator. Click the Options button to open the options form again. Now let's set up the store information. Enter your trade name, street address, city, state abbreviation, zip code, and your complete FFL number. This information will be used on the various ATF forms, so use all uppercase or propercase. If you are a sole proprietor or a single member LLC, then click the Yes Radio button for Sole Proprietor. This will allow FFL Tools to dispose firearms to your personal collection. If you are a pawnbroker, click the Yes Radio button for Pawnbroker. This will leave question 30B on the 4473 blank, and you will have to check the appropriate box for the sale. If you are not a pawnbroker, then click the No Radio button. Question 30B on the 4473 will then be checked No. If you have an 07 manufacturing license, then click the Yes Radio button for 07 manufacturing. This will make the manufacturing bound book reports visible and will add a manufactured acquisition type. Click the Update Store button to save your changes. In the Days of Operations section, you set the days of the week that your store is open. This is used in the calculation for the multiple handgun report. Click the Information button to display more information on how the days of operation are used for the multiple handgun sales report. Click on the days of the week that your store is open and click Update Days. For the local law enforcement officer information, input the name and the address of the local law enforcement officer that you are required to send the multiple handgun reports to. FFL Tools will put this information on the multiple handgun report. In the next 4473 transaction number, please enter the next sequential number that you would use and press the Update 4473 transaction number button. FFL Tools is preloaded with new, used, gunsmith, consignment, and CNR acquisition types. It will also include manufactured if you have selected 07 manufacturing in the store information section of options. If you would like additional acquisition types, add them here. As an example, we are going to add transfer and then click the Add New Type button. To remove an acquisition type that you have added, just find it in the list and double-click it. The last section in options is the backup settings. Click the Backup Settings button to display the Off-Site Backup dialog. FFL Tools has a timer that checks the last time the database has been backed up. If the database has not been backed up on a new calendar day, then a backup is performed regardless of the settings in the database backup settings. This is to ensure compliance with ATF ruling 2013-5. It is important to note that the off-site backup settings are for secondary storage of backup files. All database backups will be stored in the C:/FFL Tools /backups folder, and this is the only location that a database can be restored from. The off-site backup dialog has two tabs, Server Settings and Backup Settings. In the Server Settings tab, you can select an FTP server or a local file server to make copies of your existing backups. Dropbox and other types of cloud storage can be used as long as the computer running the database has write access via FTP or a drive mapping. If you use FTP, enter the server address, server path, username, and password, then press the Test Connection button. This will test that the user can successfully log into the FTP server, and then will check that the user has write permissions on the FTP server path. If you wish to store copies of the backups to a file server or a drive attached to the database computer, select the File Server Radio button, then click Browse. Use the Browse for Folder dialog to select the drive and folder to use and click OK. Click the Test Connection button to verify that the system has write access to the location that was selected. The Backup Settings tab has two main areas, Backup Retention and Backup Timing.
Backup retention is used to specify how many backup files will be retained in the C:/FFL Tools /backups folder. This can be defined in three ways. All will keep all backups. It will be up to the user to clean this directory out from time to time to keep from running out of disk space on the computer. By age can be used to set the number of days worth of backups to keep. Note, if you have 2 backups every day and you have this set to 10 days, there will be 20 backup files retained in the folder. By count will keep the number of backups specified. It is the user's responsibility to purge unwanted backups from the secondary storage area or device. Backup timing can be set to when idle or at a specified time. If the when idled option is set, only backup retention will be performed. When on timer is set and a time is specified, then a backup and retention will be performed. Click Save to save the settings. FFL Tools has now been set up and is ready for use. If you would like to play with FFL Tools before inputting actual firearm information, I would suggest that you back up your database now. This will allow you to enter test data into the system to get familiar with FFL Tools and how it functions. Then if you decide to purchase the software, you can restore to the blank database you made that contains your settings and start with a clean slate.